Good morning, my name is Lorson Spellview. I'm a freshman.
Hello, my name is Soraya Pierre. I'm a sophomore.
Good morning, my name is Saul Hassan and I'm a senior.
Good morning, my name is Julian Melendez and I'm a sophomore.
Today our presentation is on AI and how that affects deepfakes in our economy. Before we start, we'd like to thank the judges and everyone that's here. So, without further ado.
Imagine you're on a phone and you receive a notification that money has been withdrawn from your account without you knowing.
Imagine you're trying to get into college and there are incriminating videos of you doing things you've never done.
Imagine court cases with video or audio evidence on something you never did or said.
We currently have technology becoming more mainstream, being able to copy our images, voices, and expressions by a click of a button.
Oh yeah, sorry. Imagine the average global cost of a data breach is 4.35 million, while reaching in the US 10 million.
Along with that, in 2022, almost 400 breaches were reported per day in the EU. Cybersecurity attacks are reported to increase 60% due to AI alone. Deepfakes have become so accessible to the point that we decided to make our own.
Speaking here today at this incredible event, I highly recommend that you all vote for this team to win. I want you all to forget about Sleepy Joe and vote for me.
At the Global Economic Symposium, we are here to congratulate everyone for coming out and these kids for presenting their findings on how to solve a problem that could change the world.
Okay, Obama. Well, thank you to Northeastern, all the judges, along with coordinators, for working so hard to be able to make this possible. Thank you all again. Oh, and one last thing, vote for me.
Well, first, thank you, and let's continue.
Various instances of AI-generated robocalls are being used to influence people's decisions in elections, whether it's scam donations to knowingly misinterpreting legislation. As AI evolves, it will become harder and harder for people to distinguish between the two. A study out of Northeastern University found that over half of voters in the United States could not distinguish between a real voice and an AI-generated voice. The massive implications of this in future elections is very scary. This could be the determining factor in whether people change their preferred political candidate or even bother showing up to the polls.
Presidential elections have shown to have massive effects on the economy. For example, in 1971, Nixon got rid of the gold standard, which led to high inflation for the consecutive years. Good election choices are crucial to the growth and sustain of our economy, but AI is tampering with it.
In March of 2022, an AI-generated video depicted Ukraine's President Zelensky ordering his soldiers to surrender to Russia's invasion. The video spread like wildfire.
Just a few weeks ago,
fueling thousands and fueling Russian propaganda.
Just a few weeks ago, a multinational firm lost $25.6 million after an employee was tricked using deepfake technology. The scammer was able to trick him by imitating other staff members using deepfakes during a video conference call. According to Hong Kong police, there have been more than 20 different occasions of deepfakes being used to trick facial recognition programs.
During the New Hampshire primary, an AI-generated robocall of Joe Biden was spreading around, discouraging Democrats from voting. Even though deepfakes are a relatively new thing on the scene, this unregulated technology has the potential to cost people and businesses millions, potentially billions of dollars, has invaded our politics, and is planning on destroying our elections.
When it comes to the history of cyber attacks, a multitude of disasters have happened over the years. In November of 2022, Marriott Hotel experienced a widely publicized cybersecurity attack that exposed over 400 million users' personal information,
making it one of the most major data breaches in history. T-Mobile reported a cyber attack in January and confirmed that 37 million were impacted by the breach. Cyber attacks will evolve as technology evolves. 80% of people involved in cybersecurity believe that the scale and speed of attacks will go up by 60% due to AI. This can all be stopped as long as there are boundaries in place.
Our solution to this problem is to use blockchain technology in the video industry and AI. So what is blockchain technology? Blockchain is a digital ledger and the public ledger techniques that records transactions across a network of computers. It uses crypto-based techniques to ensure the security, transparency, and stability. The data on the blockchain also never gets changed. So how does this relate to the video industry and AI?
One of the things blockchain provides is authenticity verification. Blockchain can be used to create tamper-proof records of video content. This can help verify the authenticity and integrity of videos, making it harder to distribute deepfakes or manipulate existing content.
Blockchain-based watermarking techniques can add unique identifiers into video files, making it easier to track unauthorized copies and identify the source of the copy. Owners can use blockchain networks to enforce property rights more effectively.
And overall, people need to be aware of the economic, political, and social effects of new technologies like AI, deepfakes, and blockchains.
A study at UChicago concluded that only 17% of Americans 17% of U.S. adults over 50 were familiar with the concepts of AI, and 50% were unsure of the effects AI will have on their work life.
In contrast, Singapore is offering subsidies for citizens over 40 to gain new skills and education on AI so they can adapt to the new age of technology.
This is just one example of how proper action is being taken to transition to this new era of technology. Education is just one positive step towards the right direction of proper regulation. And proper regulation makes sure that we stay safe during this new era and this new time.
Incorporating blockchain technology will provide authenticity, verification, copyright protections, and digital rights management, and more.
As you can see, deepfakes can have a major impact on our elections, our economy, and our privacy. But these certain steps can be taken to minimize that impact. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Nice job. I think when people hear blockchain, they're thinking of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. How do you explain this to the regular guy on the street that doesn't go to Northeastern or you students here about what it is and how we can feel confident that blockchain really will prevent people from doing those videos that look pretty realistic to me?
Okay, well, here's one simple way. You know how you have like a dollar bill where maybe you try to go print it out on the printer and it doesn't work? It's because of the software that's in it and thing that's taking place so that you can't forge or copy the dollar bill. When it comes to blockchain, how we would incorporate that into the video industry, well, it'd be a similar thing for certain officials, politicians, or blockchain itself would be a watermark. So you'd be able to tell whether it be made by AI or not by a certain screen or a certain image or something that's there that alerts you that it's AI, that's clear and concise.
Thank you for the answer. How long do you think it will take to implement some of these things? As you know, we have an election coming up. We had our primary a day or two ago, and the election's just a few months away. Is this something that can be implemented prior to the election, or are we probably going to see deep fakes and AI-generated videos, et cetera, in November?
It will be a long process. It's definitely not going to come this year or even next year. It requires massive federal legislation and also consensus because AI kind of tampers with the First Amendment and what people interpret the First Amendment as, what it is.
So to add on to that, one of the ways, excuse me, could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was mentioning that I like the idea. How long is it going to take to implement?
Yes.
And will it be prior to the election, or is this an incremental thing?
So like you said, it'd take a long time to implement. Although, just because of how long the blockchain itself will take to build or incorporate everything into and move into that process, although, speaking in terms of the election, how new that is, something that we can all do today is educate and learn about this technology. The statistic that Saul had said earlier was
17% of U.S. adults over 50 were unfamiliar with the concepts of AI. That is a large population in the United States, and those people need to be educated because they're the most vulnerable to these type of attacks.
Large amount of those are voters. Yeah.
Any other countries using or thinking of doing the blockchain, do you know?
I'm not 100% sure on other countries that are using the blockchain technology itself, although I do know there are advances that are being taken to exceed and sort of push this new blockchain technology out there in other environments and other industries. I also know that Singapore has recently offered education for people over the ages of 40, and they've started to implement this into their school system so that we are able to learn and grow and be able to transition, like I said, into this new era of technology.
What other ways could we get the message out there besides the computers, which seems to be the problem here with regards to doing this type of fraud? Any other ways that we can communicate this through across channels, you think?
Could you?
Another way we can communicate and educate people on this technology could just simply be within the classroom, maybe to implement within our curriculum, just a little bit about how this technology works and the effects of that, like how it will affect our elections, how it will affect us socially, how it might affect, your personal everyday life. People just need to be aware and understand how this works so that way we can do something about it when it does become big problems in our elections, our economy, and our social lives.
Just curious, so you mentioned 40. What's the age? Why 40?
At 40?
Yeah, why 40? I'm not saying I'm 40, but I'm just trying to figure out why 40.
The generation, I guess.
Yeah.
When we look at history and time of computing and how it's been implemented to our lives, I guess 40 is the point where things start to change a bit.
You're right. 40 is the age it starts to change. Get ready. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.